best house for a pet bunny is inside the house with you. We do not like to have rabbits living outside in hutches. Hutches can be nice and big and built very safely and be close to the house. Still, rabbits are prey animals. And so what they're always doing is trying to make sure that nobody's trying to get in to kill them and eat them. Because remember what their two goals were. Don't get eaten and hurry up and have babies. That's their goal. Not his goal. He's been fixed, so he's not going to have any babies. So when you put a bunny outside in a hutch, overnight, sometimes they get some visitors. And they get visitors that they don't want, like a raccoon. A raccoon can come up to that cage and hit it. A cat can come up and hit it. Even the smell of a raccoon or a cat going by can make that bunny panic. And so sometimes what they do is they panic. They can't see where that predator is that might come in and hurt them. So they try to get out of that cage. They try to get out of the hutch. And what will happen sometimes is they try in a frenzy. They're throwing their bodies against the side of the hutch, and they twist really hard, and they twist their lower back very violently, and they actually break their own back. So that means that their legs in the back can't move. And so I've actually known people that have gone outside and found their rabbits crawling across their hutch, dragging their back legs, and then they die. So we don't want that to happen to our bunnies. Another thing that can happen to them is flies get to them. A fly can get into the cage, lay eggs on them, and then really gross things happen. So, and that's very common. That's called fly strike. And so even if you have a really nice cage and you try to keep it clean, sometimes in the summer it's impossible to keep the flies out, and it only takes one to get in there. So we want the bunnies inside where they can be safe, but also where we can enjoy them. So if they live inside the house, a lot of times we recommend that you keep them in something called an exercise pen. It's a metal enclosure that you can fold down and put in different rooms in the house. If you get a cage for a rabbit, that can be okay as long as he has plenty of time to exercise every day. But he really needs to be able to come and go out of that cage himself. If you put the cage up on a table and you have to reach in and get that rabbit out and put him on the floor, sometimes you might find that he's so excited to get out of that cage because he's waited all day. You reach in, he might scratch you or lunge at you or bite you, only because he's so excited, or because you're putting your hand in his house. You know, I don't want some big arm coming through my bedroom window, and so for some rabbits, that's what it feels like to them. That this big hand's coming in, and it's going to mess all their stuff up and grab him and pull him out. So what some people will do is they'll have a large cage on the floor, and I always suggest that you put something over top of the cage so that it's nice and covered, so it's nice and dark underneath it. So you have something on top of the cage to cover it, like a towel or a blanket. The rabbit can go in and out of the cage on his own because that cage is on the floor. The cage is at least big enough, so that there can be a litter box in it and room for him to stretch out completely so that if he wants to lie down and have his legs all the way out, he has room to do that. And then you can always use one of those collapsing metal pens around the cage. And so it keeps your rabbit from running all through the house and getting into trouble, but it still gives him a chance to come and go out of his cage and have some exercise and playtime.